In Chile's capital, protests continue against wealth inequality, but many are now turning their attention to state prosecutors who intend to investigate 14 police officers accused of torturing demonstrators. There are more than 800 allegations of torture, beatings, and rape committed by security forces over the last 3 weeks of protests. That's added to widespread anger and calls for President Chile Pinera to resign. He says guilty officers and soldiers will be prosecuted.
We will bring them to justice with the same authority and protocol. Any excessive use of force by police will also be investigated by prosecutors and by the courts. This is what happens in a democracy and under the rule of law.
The president signed an order to increase the country's minimum wage 16% to about $470 a month. Congress will now decide if that measure moves forward. Some Chileans are skeptical.
The president is first and foremost a salesman. He is an economic speculator. Honestly, I would not be surprised if he's linked to companies that are making money and profits from this crisis.
What first began as protests against an increase in public transportation fees has now expanded to the capital's major highways with complaints road tolls are too high.
Highway concessions have been in place since 2006. Companies have earned back their investment 8 times over, yet they continue to charge us. They're taking advantage of us and people are in debt.
On the streets, protesters are talking about extending their rallies to wealthy districts that they have so far ignored. A UN human rights mission and Amnesty International say they're investigating allegations of the government committing abuses in Chile. The president insists his administration has nothing to hide. Katia, Lopez-Hodayan, Al Jazeera.